Hello everybody. I'm going to go ahead and go over last week's assignments as well as answering some questions. All of the timestamps will be linked down below if you want to go ahead and jump around in the video. So I went ahead and graded all of the homologous and analogous structure worksheets, and thank you for everyone that already turned it in. And it's all on Aries, so if you want to go ahead and check your grade, you can. There were two pre-lab questions and some people didn't do them, and I don't know if it was kind of obvious that I wanted you to go ahead and turn them in and answer them. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and do the answers. So when we are comparing the terms homologous and analogous, if you're looking at the core word, just like homo with same, is that the structure is going to be similar. So if you looked at all of the animal bones, we had the human bone and the horse bone, and they were actually color coded in what they were similarly like structured. But the function may be different, right? So obviously a whale fin is going to be different than a horse's leg, which is used to walk on, and our human arm, which we grab things with. So when we're looking at analogous structures, which were the two bird wings, they're going to have the same function, right? So they look differently if you look carefully at the bones and things like that of the bird wing and the butterfly wing, but the function is that both of them fly. When I was looking at the pre-lab question number 2, it was what can be described as a screw, a nail, and a staple, and those were analogous. So I wasn't looking for the definition of the item, but more of what out of those two terms is it. So it's going to be an analogous structure because they didn't come from a common ancestor. Staple, a screw, or a nail are all going to hold things together, but they're more likely to have evolutionarily evolved separately than coming from a similar ancestor. When I was looking at the table, the function, I was looking for saying that the human picks things up with their hand, a horse walks around, whales swim, things like that. Like, what are they actually doing? As I scroll down, there is an honors portion. So if you are an academic student, you do not have to do it. A lot of people went ahead and did the whole document, which is fine. But if you are strapped for time and don't want to do the honors portion, make sure that you're reading everything so you're not doing more work than you have to. So for the vestigial structures, those are basically structures that are not being used currently by the organism, by the animal. So if we're looking at homologous structures, there was a question saying like, how are they similar and different? If they look the same, but obviously the vestigial structure is not being used currently, but the homologous structure is, that's the difference. And then same with the analogous. If they look different, they have different structures. Then I have some questions that I will go ahead and answer. The core final, I made a quick little video about the core final and what that entails, but basically I'll go ahead and link it down below if you want a fuller version. But just looking at the dates here, the research paper for B-Day is going to be due Monday, March 4th. You already have the rough draft, so make sure to kind of look through all the rough draft and go ahead and send it to your first period teacher. And then the creative component is going to be due on May 8th. So that is going to be turned into me and just one submission per group, and I'm going to go ahead and collect all of those. Again, if you want a more full detailed video, go ahead and look at the description down below. I had some questions about the finals. So I am going to have a spring semester final that will be cumulative all for the spring semester. I'm going to have a more, I'm still kind of figuring out how I'm going to do it and put it online. So go ahead and check back next week where I'll have a more in-depth video on how I'm going to go ahead and do the final. It will be online though, and there will be a portion that we're going to do some sort of notes that you can use on the final. That's everything that I have, kind of recapping the third week. I miss you guys. If you have not done the MySlab, it is due at midnight. Thanks for everyone that already went ahead and turned that in, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.